The next chapter is calling. Are you ready? Welcome back to Boomers and Beyond, the podcast that's redefining what it means to live your best life after 55. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Antionette Blake, better known as the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger. And for this new season, we're kicking things into high gear. We're not just talking about what's ahead, we're grabbing it by the hand and exploring it all. Forget those tired checklists. This season, we're bringing you breakthrough insights on vibrant health, mind-expanding travel adventures, and game-changing strategies for a secure financial future. We're cutting through the noise to bring you inspiring stories and expert advice you won't hear just anywhere else. We're diving into deep conversations that matter the most, strengthening relationships, finding a new passions, and proving your best years aren't behind you. They're right here now. So don't miss a single moment of this adventure. Your next great chapter starts right here with me on Boomers and Beyond. Hello, my wonderful listeners, and welcome back to Boomers and Beyond. I'm your host, Antionette Blake, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. Now, before I begin, let me tell you, this topic might seem a little morbid or heavy at first, but I promise you it's not. In fact, as a boomer and beyond, it's one of the most loving and important things that you can do for your family. What am I talking about? I'm talking about writing your own obituary. Yep. Now, wait a minute before you go and listen to something else. Listen to me, hear me out. This isn't being morbid or focusing on the end of life. It's about being thoughtful, prepared, and in control of your own story. And I was talking to my in-laws about this just past weekend. They had come up for a funeral. And they had mentioned that the person that was giving the obituary didn't do the best job. And I've been saying this for a long time. And I tell my sons, and they think I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm writing my obituary so that you know whoever reads it has accurate information. And that is so important because for our generation, it's something that we often avoid. But now it's really time to think about it and talk about it openly. Now let's think about this. Not only for your children and your grandchildren, they know you who you are now. They may not know what your life was before they even came along. Your youth, your early career, the funny stories, your first job, and when the time comes, they're gonna be grieving. They're gonna miss their mom. They're gonna miss their, pop. But will they be able to remember all the important details, the dash in between, right? So we all know grief is heavy. It can cause a fog. You're not thinking clearly. You're not going to remember the important facts. But if you right now write your own obituary, you're not just providing information, you're leaving clear, heartfelt documentation that is a true reflection on your life. So this episode of Boomers and Beyond, the last word, writing your story for those you love. And let's start out. The benefits of writing your own obituary are humongous, both not only for you, but for your family. First, you get to give the final say, and no one knows you better than you do. You can make sure that your story is told the way you want it to be told, with your voice and with details that you find most important. Do you want to be funny, formal, or just simply an honest summary. It's all up to you. Secondly, it's a true gift to your family. When a loved one passes, there are a million things to do and very little time in which to do it. So, by having your obituary written, you are removing a huge burden from their shoulders. They won't have to scramble for dates, names, or a list of your accomplishments. This is leaving them something complete and meaningful. And lastly, think about this. It's going to be therapeutic, a very therapeutic process for you because now you get to take time to reflect on your life, the people you loved, the places you've been, the lessons you've learned. This can be very powerful, a powerful and life affirming experience. It's a chance for you to see your life story laid out on paper and gives you a sense of gratitude for all the things that you've accomplished in your life. And I know it might be uncomfortable when you're first starting out, but think of it as a living document, like your insurance policy, a living will. You have this. You can revisit it, you can update it over time, as new things happen to you. So to get started, I'm just going to leave you this quick checklist, and I'm going to follow this. I always follow my podcast up with a blog post. So make sure that you subscribe to dellblogger.com so that you can get the checklist right from the blog. So this simple checklist, and you don't have to use it all, but it's a good starting point to help you get your thoughts organized. So the checklist. What is the content to include in your obituary? First thing, of course, your full name, including, ladies, your maiden name and any nicknames you are known by. Now, people know me as Antionette Blake, the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger. But my nickname was Tony. That's right, Tony with an I. And my maiden name was Cross. My sons may or may not know that or remember that. So make sure you include your full name, your maiden name, and any nicknames that people called you. The second thing is key dates, the date of your birth, also the place of your birth, and, of course, the date of your death. You're going to leave that blank. But yeah, those important dates, the day you were born and where you were born. Because I always ask my son, where was I born? And sometimes Millie will say, I don't know. And Talia will say, Cincinnati. See, makes sense. Okay. Family information is a third thing. The full names of your parents, your spouse, your children and grandchildren. And you can also list any siblings or close family members who have passed away before you. So in my situation, my parents, my grandparents, my sister, they have all predeceased me. So I'm going to include them. Now, okay, that's the hot and heavy part. But now the fun part. Education. Where'd you go to school, right? What school and what did you study? I would definitely do just college and postgraduate work. Don't need to go back to elementary school, right? Your career. A brief summary of your professional life and any major accomplishments. If you're military, your military service. If you served the branch, the dates of service, and any notable details. Any hobbies or passions. What brought you joy outside of work? Were you an avid gardener, a great baker, a candlestick maker, a woodworker, a traveler, your favorite places to go, things like that. Also, any community involvement. Did you do any volunteer work? Remember, we talked about that in a previous podcast, your second act. Did you volunteer in any clubs, organizations like the VFW, maybe a church group, or even like local book clubs or local garden clubs, sororities, fraternities, other programs that you might have been involved in? Make sure you put that in there as well. And of course, what do you want to be remembered for? This is the heart, the meat and potatoes of the obituary. Write a short paragraph about your personality, your sense of humor, and what you hope your legacy will be. That's important. You want to leave people, with who am I? Yes, I'm the Delaware blogger. Yes, I'm the DE Diva. But really, what do I want to leave? What is that dash in between? And then, with the obituary, include your final wishes so that they know where do you want your service held. You can leave that blank or leave it up to your family. But if there's a church, a local church or a mosque or wherever you want your service to be, fill that in. And if you have any donations, any charitable donations, because some people might want to leave money or items to a specific charity you can say, instead of sending flowers, send a donation to blah, blah, blah. And for members of sororities, if you have a sorority sister that you want to make sure they get all your paraphernalia, doesn't end up in some, landfill or some Goodwill, let them know who to contact for that soror or that bruh to come, that fraternity brother or that sorority sister to come and get your para. That's so very important. A shout out to my sorority sisters on that. So remember, this is not a chore. This is not morbid. This is a gift. Think about it. It's an act of love for your family. And it's a beautiful final testament of a life well lived. And again, it's an open living document. You can update it as you go on. So you can start now, have a book and just leave it there. My grandma left all her instructions on a piece of paper, and left it on her dresser. And she included, who she wanted to have this Bible, how she wanted to be laid out. Also that, what do you want to wear? Is there a particular hat that you like? So put all that in there and it makes it so much easier. It's that final gift that you're giving to your kids, your grandkids, whomever the case may be. So it's not morbid. This is, things that we got to think about as a boomer and beyond. And I'm so glad that you're coming here every week to check out these podcast lifestyle tips for us boomers and beyond. And next week, we're going to do something else. We're getting closer to the holiday. So we're going to start talking about holiday events as well. So until the next time, stay smart, stay safe, and stay social, because I will see you in cyberspace. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger. And don't forget, you can find and follow me on all my social media platforms by using the Linktree ID A Blake Enterprises. See ya. Well, my friends, that's a wrap for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning into Boomers and Beyond. I hope that you've been inspired. And remember, every day is a chance to start a new adventure, and your best years are waiting. But before you go, remember, hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any other exciting episodes. You can find me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen. And leave me a comment. I love hearing your thoughts, and please share this show with your family, your friends, your bae, and your boo too. And if you have a question or a topic that you want me to cover, send an email to ablake48@gmail.com. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger.